everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad to have you crafting with me today. A few housekeeping things. Number one, the elephant in the room. Yes, I have made a name change to the channel. The reason being, I also own a shop, an Etsy store where I sell various products. If you haven't had a look there, feel free to have a look there. I've got it linked down below. But also I don't really sell paper items there. And so for the last little while, I've sort of felt a bit weird about having them sort of both under the same banner. I did have my fidgety press pages all up and running, and then I sort of, you know, archived them and then put them all under the one banner. But my compartmentalizing brain needs to sort of feel like they're their own, each their own thing. So that's that. Second thing, my nails are a little bit janky today. I put on some UV nail polish a little while ago, and honestly, I now remember why I don't enjoy UV nail polish. It really, my nails are so paper thin that it just can't handle it. And now I remembered why I don't use UV nail polish. I think that's everything. Let's get into it. So today we are, of course, working on some beautiful paper crafting. I did add a couple of other little bits and pieces to these pages from last video, including some text that I found from this cute little poem. So we are going to be working on the next double spread today, and it's going to be some fun collage, some mixed media, all the usual suspects. Of course, on my desk I have some beautiful things. I've got some mixed media, some book pages. This is a really pretty old book page. I love this plate. I think it's really suitable for this journal. I've got a greeting card that's personal to me, some, as I said, some mixed media, bits and bobs, some more book pages. This is kind of a glossy book page. I'm going to salvage some things from, that's pretty, from this book page, and yet some more book pages. So just a nice little play with some mixed media. One other thing I do have here on my desk is this little clippy that I found at the op shop, and I haven't even wiped it over yet. It's still fresh out of the bag, but I want to use this today if I can, and so I'm going to have a play with that. I actually haven't used this type of punch before, so I'm going to need some scrappy paper. Maybe this, top of this will work, just to sort of get my bearings, because what I think I'm going to do is actually use, sorry, I'm a bit all over the place. So what I think I'm going to do is use the greeting card as an extra little flip. I want to put this page here, I think, and then actually cut this page down in its entirety. So cut this page down with a nice trim, all things being equal that it works. Gonna put some mixed media on the back, and then just do some general collage. So first things first, I want to just see how this works. Now I have not, as I said, I have not tried this. So I just assume you like line it up here. Is that what you do? Okay. Wow, that's so pretty, isn't it? And so then I guess you line. So it's got these little notches here on the edge. So I assume you like maybe line this part of the design up with the edge here, perhaps, and then work your way down. We'll see. So if I line it up on the edge like like so. I guess maybe you line it up with this design here. Is that what you do? Yes! Okay, so you line it up with these little squares here, making sure that, I mean these little edge bits here, making sure that this little notch aligns with this bit in here. How fun. So we go here like so. Oh, I am so gobsmacked at how beautiful that is. I mean, and I actually managed to pick up a few of these and they were only $2 each. So that's an absolute win. All right, so what I'm thinking we do then is get our pages all ready and then we can start on our little edgy bit. So what I want to do is put this on, and I want it to be like flush up against the spine here. And do I want to tear the edge? Perhaps, because it's not like a super straight line. So I sort of like the idea of carrying that through. How was your weekend? So it's Monday here. I was very fortunate enough on the weekend to go and see, so my local art gallery it's called Hotter, Home of the Arts, which is in Bundall on the Gold Coast, which is about maybe like 15 to 20 minutes on a good day from my house. And we went there, and they had an exhibition by Ken Doan, which for me, you know, that's my childhood in terms of arts. We used to have Ken Doan art on our beds. We used to have, my mum used to wear his wearable art, like his scarves and things and t-shirts and stuff. So that was really, really special to go and see an exhibit of his work. So that's what I did. I did that yesterday. We went out and did that, and we weren't out all day. My mum and I went. We weren't out all day, but we did go and have a little cup of tea afterwards, you know, and debrief about the exhibition. And it was really nice. Like, it felt really special and nostalgic, you know. So I didn't, and then when I came home, I kind of got things ready for today's video. So I didn't, you know, sort of spend all day out, but it was nice to get out. It's been very, very hot here. So the weather, you know, I sort of enjoyed just sort of getting out and then getting back to the sanctuary of the air conditioning. Now I'm thinking, before I actually glue that down, we've got this string here. So I'm thinking we might have to work backwards. So I'm thinking with this page, I might cut this one out. I'm thinking with this page, we might pop a little lace trim under the edge, because I was thinking, as I was looking at this journal, that it might be nice to have some bits sort of sticking out the edge, you know, sort of peeking out, some mixed media. So I'm thinking I might add some lace trim to the edge of this page. So put that down there. Oh my gosh, it fits perfectly. That's a bit of a fluke. And then maybe put this lace trim. This is just a bit of salvage off of something, and I can't remember what, or if it was even something that I sort of, you know, took apart. I don't think so. I think it was in like a mixed bag or something, but it's been retrieved off of a garment, I think. So we're just going to trim the edge, and then because I think if I lay this down, then pop this on, it's sort of gonna help stabilize everything, keep everything all nice and lined up. You know what I mean? So let's get this all down. We'll just work in reverse. So put this down here. And I thought just some simple collage today. And also in terms of the geography of the journal, I thought some simple collage might be nice, because these first few pages have been kind of crazy, and, well, not crazy, but like very, very busy. And so I thought some simple collage might just be nice. Now, lay this down, because I think I'm going to try and do something tricky with this tape here. So just to be able to have the lace stuck and secure. So I think what I'm going to do is lay my tape down, and it's going to be a bit fiddly. So not an actual project as such today, just chipping away at my journal. And I would love to know, do we want, oh, is that enough? Yeah, that's enough. Please let me know down in the comments what you're working on, because I would love to know what you're working on. Are you doing something similar? Are you working on a specific project? Are you doing Februarage, which is that really fun collage challenge that's happening over on Instagram at the moment, and the page is actually called Februarage, and it's basically a collage challenge happening each day in February. Oh, I really wanted to participate in that this year and make a February journal. February is such a crazy month in my household. We have so many birthdays, events. So I'm just folding that over on itself. And then we should be able to just line it up with not quite the edge of the page. I'm going to just bring it in by maybe just a few millimeters, actually. Just bring that in. It's going to fatten up the edge, but I'm okay with that. Remember when we put this together back in the beginning, we had all this extra room on either side of the signatures for bulk, so it shouldn't be too crazy. Yes, February is such a crazy time in our home, like, because obviously you've got, you know, Valentine's Day, that goes without saying, but also we've got a vast number of family birthdays and some significant birthdays this year. So I am in the midst of, you know, planning some, you know, things to make birthdays a little bit more special, just because they're significant birthdays. And so there was just no physical way. I should have lined this up with the page, not the tape. Oh no. Okay. Well, that was more about keeping the lace intact than the image, so That's all right on the night. We'll just have another go at that. So we're going to line it up with our page, not the lace. Just because otherwise it would have been sliding out the bottom there. Very good. Okay, lovely. Yeah, so there was just no way I was going to be able to devote the energy and time. I really, one of my New Year's resolutions this year was actually to do more monthly journaling challenges, because I just love at the end of the project when you have this beautiful finished project. It's so satisfying and so like amazing. I really love it. This is a bit of trim off the edge of that image. Could we lay that here? That's kind of cute. Plus we can scrap bust a little bit, because I actually haven't come up with a plan for this particular part of this side of what we're doing today. So we're going to just be going with the flow on that and seeing what feels right on the night. Cool. That'll just finish that off. Bring in some vintage charm with that, and using up more of that beautiful paper. It'll also help tie it to the image on the other side when that's all tucked in. All right. Yes, I just love when you have like a beautiful finished journal at the end of doing one of those 30-day or monthly journaling challenges. It's just so satisfying, and yeah, I love it. But yeah, Februarage was just not going to happen for me this year. It's just a bit busy. I myself am turning 40 this year, and am actually still friends with a lot of my schoolmates, and so virtually everybody I know is turning 40 this year as well, including my partner. So it's a kind of a busy year ahead that we have. Okay, so this card, I want to attach this, and I also want to, I've got a little some images to go on the front and back, because it's plain and beautiful, but I thought maybe we could add like just some little bit more theming to the card. So I did most of my fussy cutting. I've been trying to do most of my fussy cutting off camera, so it's not quite so much time on the day, but this isn't too bad. This one, nice and simple, and beautiful colors to go in the journal. So yeah, let me know. I plan to hopefully complete No Sew November again this year. My Journalwithme journals have become one of my most favorite monthly journaling challenges to complete. So I'll be doing Journalwithme again this year, hopefully. I haven't actually, I mean, it's only January. Well, no, it's February now, isn't it? Oh my gosh, the year is getting away already. I haven't actually got anything planned for it just yet. For Journalwithme. So I need to sort of start thinking about it a little bit earlier this year, because I always sort of leave it till the last minute and then not panic, because I don't panic about journaling. It's, you know, I do that for fun, so we don't stress about it. But yeah, it's always like a bit of a, oh, well, what are we going to do? And then, you know, last year was my first year participating in No Sew November, so it was interesting to come straight out of Journalwithme and then again at the last minute just decide to jump into No Sew November. without a plan, but we made it and it was really fun. If you follow along on Instagram, I do pop up the shorts on YouTube here too, but if you follow along on Instagram, you'll see that little journey. I've nearly finished the videos for finishing off my little No Sew November journal. So I'd love to know what you think if you've seen those. I will have the updated links for my socials with the channel name change all listed down below as usual, or they'll just come up as shorts on the YouTube channel. Maybe, shall we pop her up here in the corner? That's pretty. And then yeah, so I'd love to know, because it's one of those things where, you know, if you know about it, you know about it, but how do you find out about it? How do you find out which journaling challenges are happening, you know, around? So I would love to know if you have any recommendations for any that you're participating in this year. Do let me know. I would really love to know, because as I say, it's something that has become quite a passion for me in doing these little journaling challenges every so often. I also love how the challenge pushes you to actually finish, you know, actually finish a journaling challenge. Now, I'm going to put this on the back, but I'm just trying to decide what tape to use to put this in. We've got some interesting colors here. So that kind of goes, we've got some, I'm planning to use some red yarn, maybe this pink. That's kind of loud, but I love it. Let's try it. Let's see. So, oh, one other thing. I was thinking of maybe using a bit of this to my logic brain tells me it should go at the bottom, but maybe we put her at the top. What would we see then? If this is going to go here. I mean, that's much prettier. Okay, that's much prettier. So, unless we probably will do some decorating on the bottom, maybe. So if we put it down here, because I think this is like, I got this from the op shop too. I think this might be like, you know, like where you put sizing in garment, like garment sizing tape. But I sort of wanted it to peek out the top. So maybe if we put her, if we do align her on the bottom, and then it'd be cool to have like just an 18 popping out the top there. So maybe like that. And then we could staple this. There's nothing on the other side. Kind of fun, hey? Kind of a fun little weird thing to see. I don't know how on earth I'm going to use it up all, to use up all of that. But now where's the little, I had a brad that I thought would be perfect. I think I've misplaced it, so I'll just grab another. Oh, we've got a couple here that might work. We've got this orangey red, but then we've also got this heart one. I guess it kind of, does it clash with the pink? It's a bit shiny, isn't it, the red one? Maybe the red, actually. I've just at the last minute. Well, there you go. That was an accident. Accidental. Oh, what's this one? This little pink one. Maybe this little bird. And it's like not too loud. Maybe this little bird. Pretty. Okay, there you go. I love when that happens. Just like a little accidental. What is it he says? Happy little accident. Okay, so we're going to attach this here, and I was actually going to use a staple for it. Maybe I won't have to. Maybe just a little bit of wet glue. Yeah, so if you have any like journal challenge recommendations. Oh, this is Well Bond. I just realized I picked up the wrong glue. I mean, let's see. Hold it in roughly in place before we put the brad on. And then line it up. Line it up like that. And then it seems to be working, so that's good. And then where's mine? Thankfully this little brad here isn't very large. Like the little feet aren't too thick. Oh, that's actually really cute. It's like a little bird. That's actually so cute. All right, so we're going to fold that over, and then what should we cover it up with? Maybe like a little, just grab one of these little pink stickers and maybe another little, just do like a little, you know, a little moment. Again, sort of, let's make things look intentional. So we'll just cover up. Oh, is that going to be big enough? Maybe not. Put some tape over it. Actually, maybe what I will do then is I will run down the whole edge. So we're just going to run down the edge of the card here with some washi, and that's just going to keep that all tucked in. And then I might just put a little bit more of that Well Bond over that. I mean, this is all fine to see, like you're not, it's not, you know, it's not crazy, but I just, you know, just finish it off, make it look nice. Maybe a little pink sticker. And then we'll just trim this off. And you know, I do actually really do recommend, if you have anything like this, like some personal ephemera to add to your journal, so there you go. So that's the edge, and then that's the top, and then that can sit and it'll peek out the top here, and then also act as like a little tab. If you can add some ephemera, I've always kept all of my greeting cards, and actually for this project I pulled out a whole bunch that I thought would work within the color scheme of this journal. If you have some, definitely consider using them for something like this, because it's just a really nice way of adding something really personal to you. It's also a really great way to find a permanent home for your greeting cards and journal, your greeting cards and letters, definitely. And then, you know, obviously that's really personal to me, but whatever you have will be personal to you. So and it's just a nice way, because like obviously I have like a big card box with all of my cards in there, and you know, that's nice, but it's also, I think, really nice to think of having them, you know, give them a little home and somewhere to live in a more permanent, like nice way to sort of like, you know, preserve them. And also, if you are the type of journaler who is more of an art journaler rather than a you know, personal journaler, it's a really nice way of adding more personality and personal, like, you know, little personal touches to your journals as well. So we're just going to try and find the center. And you saw me there just adding some glue to the washi. This is, if you've been around here a while, you know that's something that I tend to do, because not that I'm worried about the washi sticking down, it's more just to make sure it's stuck down. I do kind of like that pink over that. Okay, I'm gonna do that, I think. Yeah. So have a little dig through, you know, like the motto of this channel is use the good ephemera. So things that are special will make your journal feel more special by using them in the journal. So don't be frightened, don't be scared. It's a great way of saving precious memories. And you know, you've just seen me add some decorating to this journal, to this card, sorry. And that's just going to make it feel even more personal. Now, you know what I've just done though? I've just realized that I've put that card in and I was going to use it to trace around this. So that's okay. That's okay. We're going to figure it out. I hope you can see that. The card's there. I sort of thought it might be nice to, you could collage the back of this card, the back of your cards. I thought it might be nice to add some more mixed media here. So just going to trace around this, and it's okay because I'm going to just actually cut it on the inside of that. You know, we don't need all the rest. And then I've got I think this is a darning needle, and some very fine red yarn, not the most structurally integral yarn if I'm honest, but it's pretty all the same. And I'm going to just add a very rudimentary border, running stitch border to this. So you shouldn't need much more than that. So not very much at all, really. Just gonna add a little bit more charm and personality. And controversially, I'm going to start I'm going to start here. I'm going to start on the edge and in the middle. Yes, I'm going to start on the edge and in the middle. And I'm not going to tie off because I don't want there to be a big thick knot. And this needle might actually not be the best for this. Actually, I think it might be too thick. Hang on, I'm just going to grab another one. If I can hopefully get the yarn through the tip, though, that's the challenge. These are just needles from the supermarket, everyone. Don't need fancy for this type of sewing. And to add a little bit of mixed media to your collage spread, don't need to, oh yes, that's much better. Don't need to get anything too fancy. Just something from the supermarket will do. Just going to add a little bit of charm to the edge, a little bit more detail as well, because it's all white. And I know it does have some neutrals in the way of, by way of whatever I think it's supposed to be a tablecloth here or something on the bottom. And, you know, honestly, the more for this project, the more rudimentary the sewing, the better. Because we want it to just have that, like, very homemade look. And to be honest, like, you saw me just trace this out. I didn't even really check if it was straight. So hopefully it's not too crooked. So we're just feeding in and out here. And this was just a little piece that I found at the op shop again. It did not come with anything else other than this. There were no other instructions, no threads. You know how sometimes you can find like the little kits and they've got things in them. This was just as is. So I'm happy that it can find a little home here. And whoever started this project, I hope that that's a nice way for it to find a forever home in this journal. And I do love adding texture by way of mixed media. Paper is amazing, and you can never have too many different kinds of paper. But adding, I think, just taking things to the next level by adding some mixed media is it just pushes it over the edge, doesn't it? It just brings something just that little bit extra. And it doesn't actually, again, doesn't have to be fancy sewing supplies, fancy fabric, fancy yarns. This ball of yarn came with two others that were kind of similar or the same, and the packet was, I think, 50 cents for all three. I can't remember how much this little piece here that I'm stitching into was, but it can't have been more than 50 cents because I wouldn't have paid more than that. So, because, you know, obviously in the back of my mind when I'm going to the thrift or the op shop is like, okay, 50 cents, but that's 50 cents for one journal page. So, you know, that can add up quite quickly. And, you know, if you're trying to save money while you're crafting, and you know, that's definitely one of the main reasons why I buy things secondhand, is because it's more affordable that way. And also I do like to have a variety of different things. I think when you buy things new, you're often buying like large paper pads, new paper pads, but they've got you know, repeats of the same thing, and I like my things to sort of feel quite, you know, each journal that I make, I kind of like it to feel a little bit different. And, you know, but also ultimately they're great for the environment as well. So I'll just put my needle straight back away so I know where it is. And speaking of saving the environment, another thing I like to do is just with my little scrappies, like my yarn scrappies that are maybe not that great, and also my fabric scrappies, is I save them in this little bag right beside me. And then when it comes to other projects and even stuffing projects, to use it as stuffing, and that way your crafting isn't contributing to the landfill. Okay, so next I'm going to just keep my tails in view. So I'm going to, just so I don't snip them, and I've got pinking shears. Hopefully that will mean that this won't fray as badly, and it'll also add, again, just a little bit more texture. Actually, I might just pop a bit of sticky tape on that. I usually have my sticky tape right beside me, but this week I was wrapping shop orders, so I had it on my little trolley, my little shop order trolley. So this is like, you know, what's it called? Embroidery canvas or something. So it's quite thick, and the weave is quite an open weave, so probably it's gonna still fray a little bit. And just being careful not to nick the yarn as we go. That's cute. Oh, it's looking cute already. Yes. Okay. Cute. Righto. Now, let's hope that this fits. I still haven't made it too big. I think that's all right. And then it doesn't matter if it's poking out the back, like the top or the bottom. So we might align it with the bottom, just because obviously that's going to be sitting on a shelf. And then I'll use some of my, what am I going to use for that? My tape or my glue? Maybe tape. Maybe tape. It's just that little bit cleaner, isn't it? Normally I'd put the tape on the appliance that we're attaching to the page, but in this case, because it's not the exact right size, actually let's go over here, because it's not the exact right size, I'm going to, no, definitely not those scissors, these ones. You know, I don't want sticky tape to be sticking out the top and the bottom. And then I'm just going to use my wee scissors here to trim this down. And then we can take off this bit, protective layer, and then take off this protective layer and add the centerpiece. And so then if there is a little bit of overlap, then that's all right. And it doesn't then matter if it's just that little bit crooked either. So lay that down. It's very sticky, but that's why I like it. In fact, I'm actually nearly out. I need to go get some more. I do get it from Bunnings. I'd love to know actually if anyone has any other recommendations for double-sided tape. So I'm going to align this. I'm going to align this to this side and this side. I'm actually just thinking, should I have put this down? Because otherwise it's going to, all right, this is going to be a little bit of engineering here. A little bit of engineering. I probably should have done this because I'm just thinking that I don't know that this washi tape will necessarily be able to stick to this on the outside. So we're gonna do a little bit of engineering, and we're gonna try and do things in order. Thankfully the washi isn't super sticky. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of the wet glue. And we've decided Well Bond is the glue of the day. I'm not sure where my other, oh there it is. It's just what I just grabbed, what was in front of me on the day. And then I'm going to align this here and here, here and here, because there's more room on the top and to the left. So we're going to start at this bottom corner here. And of course with the tape, it's sorry, the double-sided tape, not the washi tape, it's going to stick immediate, well, not immediately, you've got a bit of give there, but it's going to, it's definitely going to be very sticky straight off. So we get that stuck down. Oh my goodness. The feeling, it feels, no notes, it feels. It just adds so much texture. Oh, I love it so much. Okay, great. And then we can still attach the tape. Perfect. So how are we looking from the front? Cool. Then we can just, we've still got a little bit of peeking out on the side. I probably should have stretched this just a bit further. Can we still do it? Yes. It wasn't quite perfectly straight when I cut it, but that's okay. That's okay. And same on the bottom here. This is a little bit sticky, but I think over time that will be fine. Okay. Now we can get this page stuck down. So we just got to do things in like reverse order. And I'm going to do this double. Oops. And I think it will just be fun to add just a little bit of something different by way of trimming this page down vertically, so that as you're flicking through, it's just that little point of interest and point of difference as you go. Fluoro pink is just, it's just like, it's everything, isn't it? It's just everything. Oh my gosh, I love that. Beautiful. Yeah, I love that. That little bit of something. And it looks like tape, which I love even more. This is not holding down. Just add a little bit more glue here. It's actually very full, but I think the nozzle is a little bit funny. Get that on. May not. It may not. Because I've stretched it, so it's okay. Cool. Over time, that'll do its thing. Hopefully, beautiful. Oh my goodness! Stop. That's so pretty. That's so pretty. Okay. Oh, I love it. Okay, great. Now, controversially, we are going to cut this page down now. So I might grab my, where's my, here, my bone folder, and we're just gonna get this all flattened out, because of course we're going to be decorating here at some point. So we are now going to cut here. No fear. It's just paper, remember? Actually, only fear if you cut through 2 pages. No, we're good. Cut this down. Perfect. Gathering some fabulous scraps today as well. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Now, it's our little thing here. We can do one of 2 things. We can cut this like this, or we can cut something else and add it here. I think it'll just be more like interesting if we cut the actual thing, and we're going to have to be very brave. We're going to have to be very gonna have to be very brave, and also very confident that this is going to actually cut through all those sheets. Oh my gosh, that's so you're gonna be hearing me say oh my gosh this whole time, and hopefully it will work the same. Okay, so we've got to line it up with the design at the bottom. Stunning. And then if we put, you know, whatever we put behind, oh my gosh, yes. The only thing to remember too is that then obviously whatever's on this side is going to be either visible from the front if we, you know, build the page out this way, or it's going to have this on the edge, which is fine as well, because it doesn't have to be all planned out every page, obviously, as you go. Like that's just not going to happen. Like I'm building this journal as I go, not because this is the kind of journal where, you know, as I said in the past, like where I've done Draw the Ween or whatever, there's like a repetition in the pages. This little edgy bit, I'm gonna have to this isn't quite right here. So I guess I line it up backwards. Line it up backwards. Line it up backwards. Let's see. Confidence is low. Oh my goodness. Yes. Yes. Ah. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. And actually in this spread, we have included actually so many fun little edgy bits, haven't we? How fun. Cool. All right, next we are going to, these are great. So as I say, I did manage to get a couple of these in different styles of edge trim. And they are all different, and they were only $2 a piece. So a great find. Do not skip the op shops craft area. Make sure you check it out. You never know what you can find. Now, one last little thing, maybe. I'm still trying to decide if we need to do anything here. I am, as I say, aware of when you flick through this book, that little areas of just something just that little bit visually less cluttered, I suppose, as we go, is something I'm trying to focus on. So and be aware of. So if you've got quite busy, loud, maximalist pages, which I love, absolutely love how it's looking, as you flick through, it is going to provide you some interest if you do have just some blocks as you go. So I'm thinking these cutie little bluebirds here might just be really nice to, one, bring in some blue, and two, just add some little bit of extra collage to this page. So I'm just going to fussy cut these out, because I'm thinking, like, do you see what I mean? Like just something simple on the page, really simple and pretty, because we've got blue, but I think it would be nice to add a little bit more blue. And as I say, like using, you know, other colors, neutrals, blacks, is going to help to break up, like we did here, break up some of those louder colors as well, and just let your eyes sort of rest, and sort of simultaneously rest and be stimulated at the same time, because the pages are different each time. Each time you turn the page, you're getting something a bit different, and going on a little visual adventure as you flick through. So yeah, I think so. I've actually, in my little stash box for this project, I've picked out a couple of little plates and book pages like this where they've got blacks, and that's going to help communicate our you know, the theme for me, like having these sort of really charming images and illustrations, but also, as I say, help with contrast and color blocking, and, you know, all those things that, yes, you don't, obviously there are no rules to art journaling and junk journaling, but if it looks good, actually there is one rule: if it looks good, it is good. Like, you know, if it looks good to you, then it is good. That's the only rule. It's about having fun and creating something, and, you know, potentially preserving memories as well. But for an art journal, no rules. And that's something I'm exercising here, because obviously this image here is black and white. It's not red, white or blue yet. We are making it fit the theme a little bit more with some of these bluebirds. But yes, just enjoying the process of trying something different, adding textures, different textures and different media to your page, and then having a fun time doing it. Cute. Oh my goodness, I love them. They're beautiful on that page. Okay, lovely. So maybe we do something like this. Might sort of be funny if but we could cover up this cherub. This is a little, I don't know if you can see that. This is a little cherub here in this nest with these eggs, or a little, yeah, cherub? I think cherub. Maybe we put this bird here, and then it sort of, like if I put it up there, it's a bit odd. If I put the bird, yeah, no, I think that's all right. So we're gonna do that. Just some dry glue should be sufficient in keeping these things under control. Although I have to say, even with the air conditioning, my dry glues are still like kind of suffering in this heat. They're getting a little bit sticky. Is anyone else in Australia, Gold Coast, Queensland, actually all over Australia, to be honest? This heat wave is just crazy. Anyone else having an issue with their glue sticks being sticky? Maybe I'll put these down, and then I might add a little bit of mark making. We might add a little bit of mark making to them. So if we put them kind of here, they're kind of observing what's going on up here. And then I mean, black would be nice, but I do think maybe so I'm just going to maybe I might pencil it in, then I can just decide. So a little tutorial, quick tutorial. Back in the day, anyone else watch Art Attack? Neil Buchanan. It was my favorite show. I used to watch it every day it was on. And one of the hacks that I learned from him that I've never ever forgotten and I've never stopped using is a way in which to draw realistic branches. And I've always just done it this way because I heard it from him, and it's brilliant. So you take your tool, drawing tool, paintbrush, pencil, pen, and you hold it at the end, and it feels strange. And if you're a left-handed person, same situation. And you try and draw just a straight line, and it's never going to be straight because, well, from my, having used a paintbrush, pencil, whatever, it doesn't feel natural to hold it that way. And then you just, to that master branch, you add 2 branches. And then to each of those 2 branches, you add 2 branches. And then you can do the same thing further down if you so choose. Keep adding 2 branches, and then 2 branches, and then 2 branches. And you can do it oddly if you choose. But to me, that's always how you just draw a stick and a branch. There you go. Thank you, Neil. I hope he's still around. Does anyone know if he's still with us? Neil Buchanan. I hadn't actually planned to do any painting today, but here we are. I think it's just going to pop if we do that. And I'm going to do something really controversial, but I'm just going to use the corner of my page as my palette. I know. What? That's scary. And then you can follow your guidelines, or you can hold your brush further up. I'm confident that I can follow these lines quite easily. And then just bring them through over your lead pencil. I hope you can see that lead pencil from there. I'll just bring it up closer so you can see that lead pencil there. And this is a very tiny brush. I probably could have gotten away with using something a bit thicker. And where the branch, you know, typically would be, they get thicker, they're thinner towards the end and the tip of the branch. And then you can just follow our guidelines as neatly or as naturally as you so choose. And just following along. I mean, if you've been watching my videos for a while, you sort of know that I enjoy adding bits and pieces by my own hand, even if it's a collage, because I think it just, from my own point of view, it makes it feel more like mine. And especially if you are collaging with images from lots of different sources. So from me here, I've got, as you saw, many different book pages, like images from book pages. I didn't create those images myself. You know, they're collaged images. So it's nice to feel like if it's an art journal that you're adding something artistic by your own hand, if you feel comfortable. If you feel comfortable and, you know, your pages are your own, they should feel safe, like a safe place to play, because there's no rules and there's no right or wrong way to experiment artistically and have fun in your pages. They're for you. So yes, we're just gonna add a little branch. That wasn't intended, but I'm kind of loving it. And actually though, if we had to put this up here, you would see this part peeking through, which is kind of like amazing to think that that was the case. That would have been very cute. And so maybe do we tie that together? Maybe what sort of image could we do up here? I don't have a bird that I can think of to put here, but maybe a bird up here as well. So I might have a quick look in a moment and see if I can find a bird image. To go here as well. And we'll just extend this over. A lot of paint here. I didn't need anywhere near that much. But we're working with it, aren't we? It's there now. And I know adding wet materials to your page can feel scary. We talked about that in the last video about adding wet materials. But I do encourage you to use your journal pages as a place to try that. You know, let it all just go. Have a play. Have a play. And then I might just even put some here. And then we can use this, because I was sort of thinking like, oh, what can we use to finish off this page? It sort of seemed like it needed something. So I'm going to leave this now to dry. I'm going to wash my hands, and I'm going to just have a quick look in my little image stash and see what we can add to finish off this and just finish off this little bit of mark making that we've done. So if we do that, that should dry. Okay, I had a quick little look around, and you might remember in the last painting video I mentioned that the paint will dry darker than what you put it on. So as it dries, it becomes darker. So this has actually been a bit darker than what I would like down in this corner here. So I found this is like a wool label. So I think I'm going to add that to it. And this paint up here is still a little bit dry where it was quite thick. But I think I found a couple of cutie little things to add. So I think we're going to put this, which way? Maybe that way. Put our label on. So this might end up being a bit more busy than I had planned, but I think it's just a bit too dark down here in the corner now, so that's okay. So we're going to just add the label, and then I found these little die cut patchworky squares in pink. I mean, not squares at all, hexagons in pink and sort of like a baby blue, baby pink, baby blue. And the pink, I think, is just, it's just sort of similar in tone enough to this that's on the side here. So I think we can make like a little hexagonal, like patchworky quilt in the corner. Like so. Just glue those down. And I think I kind of want it, sort of so maybe here, I'm going to put that one up there. Just So it's sort of like honeycombing up the page kind of thing, you know, something like that, I think. Maybe like this. I'm not gonna lie, I actually kind of quite enjoy the challenge of, and that's all I have of those, so I can't, you know, I could cut and build some more, but they again just came from the op shop in a little packet, and that's all there was in there, so that's all we've got. I do kind of love the challenge of making a little mistake. I kind of love it because it's so yeah, just I find it, the challenge of like repairing and building the page, to be quite thrilling actually. Okay, and then this little cutie bird, I just fussy cut it out. I found it in my little stash there for this journal, so we'll just add them in there. And then I think over top we just add some of our signature faux stitching for this journal. I think it's just going to finish it off, because I didn't do any blending with the paint, like as in with other colors. It does sort of feel a bit, on this side, it does sort of feel a little bit out of place, but that's okay. I love it still. And then I found these letters. I used to buy things from Typo that I now have that I don't know if I'll ever use, but I remembered there were some little blue birds in here, but I've already used them. So but I found these letters. Now they're not blue, but they are a similar blue to this, so I'm thinking maybe we could add just a little something, but what? Or maybe not. Maybe just like, I've got it. Maybe this, just a little X, N, O, X, I've got another O, no, do I? No, oh, I've got a 0, 0 will do, XO, XO, kiss hug. And the cool thing about that is it can be read from either direction, so it's, you know, it can go this way or it can go the other way. Okay, cute. All right, so what did we do today? We've done it all. We've done some collage, we've done some mark making, we've added some trim to the edge of our page, we've reused some scraps that we salvaged off of this book page that we cut down, we've done some collage, we've added a greeting card which we've decorated as an extra little flap in the middle of our double page spread. We used our new punch to trim out the edge of this page, which we also made smaller, which is going to make a really cute, fun little addition to the overall page turning experience of the journal. We've used some washi tape, some stickers, we've done some faux stitching. We used a brad to add some of this fun little sizing tape to the top of our greeting card, which I know these two things now are going to really add to the overall excitement of opening this journal and flicking through. We've done added some embroidery. We've done some of our own sort of embroidery around the edge here and stuck that to the back of the greeting card. We've done it all. I really hope you've enjoyed working on this page with me today. If you have, please let me know down in the comments. Are you working on a journal similar to this along with me? What are you working on otherwise? Are you participating in Februarage? I would love to know, because I can't participate, but I'm following along online with other folk who are. So I would love to know, are you participating in that? Do let me know. I guess I'll see you in the next one. I want to thank you so very much for crafting with me today. Take care of yourselves till I see you next time, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.